Hello and welcome to another update video about Ethereum. The Ethereum chart unfortunately hasn't moved and it looks like another sideways weekend as they usually are. Not a surprise in this current boring sideways range anyway that the Saturday won't be much more interesting. So what I wanted to do is just zoom out a little bit. Again, just take a look at the bigger picture here. And you can see that Ethereum we can take a look at the price of the June lows. That on the ETH chart we have this 1 2 1 2 1 2 setup. That means that Ethereum is basically one wave ahead of Bitcoin. Okay, so the Bitcoin chart, for example, shows only 2 1 2 setups. Here the Ethereum chart 3, which indicates quite bullish price action. It can always also be corrective. So of course, it is possible that this is a WXY structure or something, which like a corrective structure can easily be counted like that, no problem at all. But again, as long as we're holding support, there isn't really a reason to highlight that too much. Of course, we can go to new bear market lows. That needs to be clear. I mean, of course, anything can happen in these markets, but that is exactly why we use the support areas, okay? And even if we lose the first support areas, all entries that we had here, especially the larger ones, and when I highlighted in the membership back in November that I was buying, they would still be in profit. So from a tactical point of view, we would get a lot of advance warning that things are starting to turn around potentially. But at the moment, Ethereum is not breaking yet, okay? And ideally it doesn't. Ideally it starts and continues to push higher, and those long consolidations, to be honest, they are needed to build a foundation for further price increases, because what you don't want is something like this where price tops and immediately breaks down. Yeah, we don't want that, and that happened quite quickly. That was here in August 22. We can also add the trend line. I mean, I have taken it off. I will take it off again because I like to have a tidy chart. But if we look at this, you have all these touch points here. It's quite a well-defined trend line actually, which sort of helps the price to move higher and higher. So it's just something we need to pay attention to should price come down a little lower. And funny enough, as we said, you know, in the current support region, the main bullish support is $1,700, and that $1,700 level, as you can see here, is basically where the trend line is sitting. So it's going to be interesting should price come down in the next week or so. Then we've got that trend line here that can offer additional support. However, breaking that trend line, to be honest, would already have quite bearish implications, I think. But I prefer to use the fib levels as main support. But this is certainly something to be watching for. Yeah, if we zoom in now, we can still see Ethereum completed a larger degree wave 2, this yellow wave 2 here in June. That we are moving up in a wave 1. Well, that might be finished. This wave 1, yeah, in a 5-wave move might be finished. And that we're now pulling back in this ABC correction in a wave 2. So from that point of view, everything worked out here over the last few weeks. So we waited for 5 waves up. We've got the 5 waves up. We were waiting for a 3-wave pullback. We have a 3-wave pullback. And actually, Ethereum in this pullback has fulfilled the bare minimum it needs to fulfill in this pullback in this wave 2, because it produced 3 waves. So it's not complete as an ABC, but as a WXY, I think it is. And it also reached the support area. It reached the 38.2 fib level. However, the rally that happened yesterday, the small rally, if you want to call it like that, was only corrective, as you can see. Yeah, a lot of overlapping price action. And I did highlight to you in yesterday's videos that as long as price stays below 1895 and we don't get a sustained break above it, then another low is expected here to complete the C wave. It would be an ending diagonal most likely. And then after that additional low, I would expect price to go up, but we need to be watching if it's not an impulse and it shows a correction. Yeah, if it's a correction to the upside, which happens after the next low, then we might be dealing with an extended correction, WXY. You know that Ethereum likes to do these as well. We had a WXY correction here from between April and June, and Ethereum could then easily reach our golden ratio here in the yellow support area at 1761, because Ethereum likes to get to the golden ratios, the 61.8 fib retracements before reversing. Yeah, and that is really it. I mean, what we need to be watching for is obviously if we make one more low. Support at 1820, that is the previous swing low that was made here on the 28th of June. Then we've got obviously 1843 anyway, but it should go lower if we make one more low. 1802 is the 50% retracement, a very strong support level for a wave 2. The golden ratio, as I said, Ethereum likes to go to the golden ratio in a wave 2. Yeah, and then 1700 is the main bullish support. You could call it the make or break point. It's not really make or break point. It's not really invalidation for the bullish idea. That will only occur if a break below 1627 occurs, this larger degree wave 2. But the break below $1,700 will already shift probabilities and will already indicate that this level, yeah, at 1627 is likely to break. That's just how it works, because the 78.6 fib level is normally too deep for an ideal wave 2. So if price breaks below it, you have your warning, okay? So yeah, and then if price makes here one more low, and ideally we only get maybe to the 50% fib level or golden ratio, then we need to be watching for a reversal, and I will then give you the levels that need to be broken to indicate that we have already bottomed. I mean, even now, if price now goes above 1895, I think we can assume price has bottomed, at least formed a more substantial local low. And yeah, the idea is that this is currently a wave 2. What I cannot rule out, and that would be the alternative. So this is one scenario. Yeah, price coming down here in a wave 2. We just need to be watching where it reacts. In an alternative interpretation, and again, that is a valid interpretation because it would put it in line with the Bitcoin wave count. Alternatively, this wave 4 is still running and we get one more high in a wave 5. It is possible. Yeah, it would be a massive wave 4, but you cannot rule these out, okay? And it would be a flat pattern, this wave 4. So it's just something to be aware of. That what does that mean? That also means we would get another high in a wave 5. But after that, we could get this larger wave 2 correction, which simply be delayed a little bit. Yeah, and that is my update about Ethereum. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership and also make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter. You can find there additional content, signals, and other stuff about trading, TA, mindset, Elliott Wave every day. Thank you. Bye-bye.